Hey, baddies.
What's up, guys? So, the lights are all dim because I am fucking depressed. So, we're going to talk about it because I've had a really bad day. I've had a couple of days for no fucking reason other than mental illness. So, we're going to talk about it because I feel like a lot of our podcasts are very positive and very like, oh, this is how you fix yourself. This is how you feel better. This is how you whatever. And while I'm not going to sit here and be like, you should throw yourself a little fucking pity party, I want to give you a kind of unmasked version of what things look like in real life. Because we talked about how social media is bullshit. And it is. So let's talk about the bad days as well as the good days. So I've had a bad couple fucking days. I'm being so fucking for real. I cried a lot today. Couldn't tell you why. I'm just sad. I'm a sad little noodle, and it's dumb. I'm supposed to be happy. I know what I'm supposed to feel. I know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, there's a holiday coming up. It's the 4th of July, my favorite freaking holiday.
We can literally hear fireworks.
Yeah, we can literally hear fireworks. We don't live in the ghetto. It's fireworks, I promise. And I'm over here. I'm over here. We're literally about to get fucking sparklers and celebrate and be happy little campers. And I'm over here sad. And my lovely wife is sitting in the driver's seat of our car being like, honey, what can I do for you? And I don't fucking know. I really don't know. So we're going to talk about what I do when I'm really fucking depressed. Unfiltered. Okay? So first of all, I let myself be fucking sad. And you should too.
As you should.
Yeah. Because
what's the analogy I give you when it comes to your feelings?
I don't know. Sometimes you're like telling me like Shrek. It's better out than in, Fiona. No, you say that it's kind of like a little leaf, you know?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. It's a little leaf that you're holding in your hand, and you're looking at this little leaf, and you feel it, you appreciate it, then you crumple it, and then you let it go.
And you watch it fall into the river, and you watch it float down the stream.
Yeah, so my version of that is you see it, and you crumple it with all your fucking might. And then you throw it away because nobody likes those fucking icky emotions, okay? Nobody likes them, but we all have them. And like I said, the lights are dim because I'm fucking depressed. And we just, we're sitting here, and I wanted to show you guys that social media isn't always prim and proper. So,
well, and I think that's a good thing for us to... I think this is a really good, spontaneous... We literally just finished recording episode 10, and she goes, turn the lights down, run it back. We're sitting down and doing episode 11 right now because
I'm fucking all in my feelers. I'm all squishy and
but
gooey.
But this is perfect because we literally, episode 9 is literally about why you had to leave Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can't talk about you leaving Minnesota and all those things and blah, blah, blah,
and be like, oh my god, everything's fine.
Go watch
we're all
episode
happy.
9.
We're blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. We can't just act like life is rose-colored because it's not. Yeah. There's a lot of hard days that go hand in hand with this.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We literally finished eating and she literally fell forward on the
dining
room table.
Went like this on the dining room table and just started crying. And I literally, she threw a pillow at me to snap me out of it. And I literally...
Okay, wait. I said, Puka, and you didn't respond. And I said, Puka, and you didn't respond. And so then I tossed this pillow at her, first of all, from here to our dining room, about 6 feet away. Okay? Yeah. Literally just a... Whoop.
Yeah.
And it missed. I also missed.
Yes. That's because she has horrible aim. She's not very athletic. But, anywho, I came up off the table, and I had little tears in my brown little sparkling eyes. Okay? Because I'm fucking sad, and I don't know why. So mental illness is a bitch. Addiction is a bitch. And you're going to feel things that you don't always know why you feel them. And that's the most frustrating thing for someone like me and for humans in general, because humans like to understand things. We like to label things. We like to categorize things. And we like to put things in even little boxes in order to understand them. That's why we came up with diagnoses in the first place. That's why we literally label our emotions in the first place, is because humans as a species like to try to understand things. And we like to try to control our environment once we understand them. And unfortunately, we live in a world that is out of our control. Okay, and I know that that's hard for some people to swallow because a lot of people like me have some hella control issues. So when we have emotions that are a lot and they come on for no rhyme or reason. What the hell do you do with the mess that suddenly you feel that has no name, right? It comes in like a freaking hurricane. And, even hurricanes, for example, we name our hurricanes. Humans name a fucking hurricane. Why? I don't know.
Leo Skepi actually has a podcast episode where he specifically talks about like emotions and mental health equaling like hurricanes and fires, like wildfires, because a wildfire doesn't apologize or make excuses for the damage. It just simply is.
Yeah.
We don't expect a hurricane to come back and explain why it caused that damage. So why we expect ourselves to like take a pause, figure everything out in the moment of the storm is kind of crazy, because like, girl, just let yourself have this moment. And then, yeah, like for your own well-being, maybe you need to assess where that came from, how you can help yourself through that without like, burning down a whole national forest. But you don't have to make sense of it for other people.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like sometimes they have rhyme and reason and sometimes they don't. There's a good quote that I heard that was like, you can't control the storm, but you can adjust your sails, right? And kind of the meaning behind that isn't even in control of where you end up, right? Because boat's going to go where it's going to go. You can't even control the wind, but what you can do is control how you respond to the storm, okay? Are you going to just let yourself flounder and be at the bottom with Davy Jones and just chill there with all the fucking crustaceans? Or are you going to be like, all right, anchors away, full speed ahead, all hands on deck, and I feel like that the way that you respond to these points in your life, to these random storms that accumulate inside, that's what frickin' matters. That's what shows who you are, and that's what shows whether you're making progress or not. Because when I experience things like I'm experiencing in these last few days, it makes me feel like shit. It makes me feel like, oh my God, I'm not making progress in my mental health. I'm not making progress in my recovery. I'm not doing whatever. But at the end of the day, how am I responding to this storm? Am I going and using drugs? Am I going and hurting myself? Am I going out and being a little hoodlum? Am I drinking my problems away and fighting myself at the bottom of a bottle? No.
But you're also, to add to the list of things you're not doing, you're not hermiting. You usually just recluse and stick to yourself. And even just the slightest thing of you, like, when you get in these moods, you being able to talk to me about what's going on, how you're feeling, even just crying with me and being like, I don't really want to talk about it, but I need to like get these emotions out. And then when you're done, like with the storm coming to the surface and the waterworks coming out, you'll be like, I want a cigarette. And I'll be like, well, and you'll be like, I know.
Yeah, because we're not reaching to say it out loud. Yeah.
I need to say that I am craving it, but I'm not reaching for it. And also, let's just appreciate that, like, I don't want to be like, it's just a cigarette, but like the fact that you're like, your thought is, God, I could go for a cigarette right now, instead of, God, I could go hit a foil right now. Like,
yeah, it's the same thought pattern. It's just a different substance,
and
right?
That alone is progress. Again, I don't want to negate the fact that like, oh, it's only a cigarette, because in the addict mindset and in the addict patterns and tendencies, a cigarette isn't just a cigarette.
No,
you know
it's
what I
the
mean?
act of reaching for something,
100%.
Anything to calm and adjust your mental state, because that, I feel like, is the number one reason that addicts reach for anything, is because we all got fucking storms inside of us that we don't know how to navigate. We don't know how to adjust the sails, okay? And, I feel like I said, how you respond days like today shows whether you're making progress and working on your recovery or not. And I think that even me sitting down and being like, nope, run it back, we're going to do another podcast, I think that is a really good positive change, because, as Becca said, I'm not just sitting with it internally, because I know that there's the phrase misery loves company, but in addict land, you're going to find a lot of times addicts recluse. We isolate. We go into this state where we're completely alone, and that's why they hype so much of going to meetings and having that community, right? Is so you don't just sit in your own thoughts and stew until you're able to justify doing X, Y, and Z. So, let's talk about what I'm going to do a little bit to navigate my storm, right? And for those of you who are listening to this on Spotify, YouTube, whatever, my lovely wife just grabbed our feline.
Jeff.
His name is Jeff.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
He's
a pop star.
Stupid.
He wants to be on the podcast. Can you purr for the people?
Oh my god. I'm trying to have a serious conversation over here.
And
so when you guys hear wheezing and heavy breathing, he is a fat fucking cat.
He is our skinniest cat.
We have a lot of fat cats. Anyway, but that's a great example too. Fur therapy is something that I can do.
Fur therapy?
Yeah, you've never fucking heard of fur therapy? It's when
Kiss his head.
He smells like cheese. Fur therapy, just holding a cat and or your dog or whatever, and finding comfort, right? And I really think that
anyone watching this on YouTube is going to be seeing me just fucking with Jeff so hard over here while you're just having a therapy session.
I'm having like a full fucking conversation. But yeah, so, you know, having yourself a laugh, like what she's doing, right?
Say hi, Jeff.
And knowing that hopelessness is a fleeting feeling, right? Because tomorrow you might not feel as down as you're feeling in this current moment. So
everything, the good moments and the bad, which is a bittersweet. You are the one who told me this. It is bittersweet to say that both good and bad times, this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually a story of King Solomon. So we'll share that story with you guys a little bit. So King Solomon was a horrible guy, but whatever. It's a different story for a different day. He told this dude, who was, I'm pretty sure this guy was about to be executed, so talk about like a bad fucking day. No pressure at all for this task. But he said, I'm not going to kill you if you find me a ring that when I'm sad and I look at it, it makes me happy. And when I'm happy, I look at it and it makes me sad. And so there's no pressure. Like I said, the dude is only going to die if he doesn't find this fucking magic ring. And so he finds a ring that says, this too shall pass. Because when you're happy, this too shall pass. And when you're sad, this too shall pass. So I like to keep that in mind as well when it comes to everything that I'm dealing with. So like I said, yeah, I wanted to jump on and just give you guys an unfiltered version of Frankie Land, because it's not always fucking happy. It's not always adventure. It's not always, oh my god, we're gonna make a cool little art painting or a cool little tattoo. Sometimes it's like, I've cried all day.
But isn't that the artist? Isn't that the poet?
It is, and it's a fucking horrible little curse because, like, yeah, I'm all deep and stuff, but that also means I'm all deep and stuff. Sometimes it's a fucking... Sometimes it's like, wow, everything's so beautiful. Let's talk about the ethereal nature of things. And other times it's like the Mariana Trench, and there's no light at the bottom of this. There's none. There's none whatsoever. So there's two sides to that coin. That's for frickin' sure.
I would just like to express that I'm extremely proud of you for being like, run it back. We're doing a podcast episode about this. And she did say, she was like, we may or may not post this. And I feel like the way that this has progressed and the way that this is going, bye Jeff, it will get posted. I feel like this is a good follow-up for episode 9. I feel like this is a good... we needed to double up on podcasts anyways, so go you. I even said to her earlier, I was like, we don't have to record tonight. And she goes, with literal tears in her eyes, she said, we have to be boss bitches.
Yeah, because I was not feeling fucking podcasty. I don't want to do anything. I want to sit in my little corner with a blanket over my fucking head and watch Desperate Housewives, right? That's literally what
we'll do right after this.
We will.
Because I have to do my nails. Because we're going out of town.
And I feel like that also plays a huge part in being able to... Again, we don't live in the ghetto. That's a firework.
I don't know if they'll be able to hear that with the foam. With the...
Oh, well.
You know? But we'll find out. We'll find out. You guys will find out as we do this.
So... You know,
happy 4th of July.
Yeah, happy 4th of July. So if you're someone who's currently going through it, you got a storm inside of you. You got a fire in your brain, which is something I say a lot, is that I feel like my brain's on fire. That's not fucking funny.
The only reason I laugh is because, like, it is the epitome of that picture of, like, a dumpster on fire, and it's like, it's
This
fine.
is fine.
Everything's fine.
This is fine. So yeah, if your brain is on fire, if you're a fucking cute little dumpster fire over here with cute little graffiti all over you, okay?
No, my cute little graffiti dumpster fire.
First of all, phone a friend, grab a cat, have a laugh, okay?
Maybe get some chocolate ice cream. Hit the gym if you need to. Like, whatever that coping skill or that habit is for you. If you need to pick up a journal, because again, like we've talked in previous episodes that everybody's journey is different. Everybody's thing is different. You can feel your emotions. You can be sad. You can cry about it. But you can only do so much of that before, like, the longer you sit there, you're going to continue to get deeper and deeper, and it's going to take you even longer to get out of that hole. So try and catch yourself before you become the Mariana Trench. Mm-hmm. And you don't even know where the fuck you start in getting out of there. And I feel like phoning a friend is a really, really good one. Talking with someone. If you don't have a partner, you don't have a best friend, you might have a sibling, you might have whoever that person is, right? Confide in them. Mm-hmm.
And don't start to spiral if you can't name why you're sad or where this came from. Sometimes emotions come and they don't have a rhyme or a reason. And if you can't figure it out, fine. You don't have to solve world hunger because you're sad. Okay? There's no pressure. There's literally no pressure with it. Which is something I've had to really work on. The other thing too is what you should be focused on as far as like trying to solve the mystery of why you feel this way. Instead of trying to solve why you feel this way, try to solve what can I do to not feel this way, right? Mm-hmm. Because like where are times where I haven't felt this way, or where are times that I felt similarly and it made me feel better, right? So I feel like oftentimes, sometimes it is good to sit in comfort if you just need to have a blankie and have a show and eat some freaking ice cream. Other times, right? Other times maybe it's the exact opposite. Maybe you need to move your body. Maybe you need to go outside and photosynthesize and play some basketball and just have a good old time, right? Maybe it's as simple as you need to write an angry letter to whoever you're pissed off at, or, record a podcast that you may never even upload just because you need to be the star of your own little show right now, because at the end of the day, you're the main character of your own movie. And if your character is fucking sad, what are you going to do about it? If you're playing a video game and if you're playing the fucking Sims and your Sims character is sitting on the fucking table crying... What are you going to do? You going to let him fucking cry? Like, no, you're going to be like, hey, little one, what can make you feel better? Like, let's figure it out. You need a piece of cake? You need to fucking watch a movie? What do you need right now?
Well, and I think that to circle back to you being like, if you're feeling some type of way, like, do blah, 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 blah. I feel like you can't solve world hunger. You don't have to know why you're sad. I feel like oftentimes when you feel like you're drowning and you're so fucking just choked by your emotions, you're not going to be able to figure out where those emotions are coming from because you're so focused on the emotions themselves and the feelings that you're going through.
Yeah, like a deer in headlights almost.
So like, because I know for me, like if I'm having an episode, if I'm having a panic attack, whatever it may be, in that moment, I can't tell you why I'm feeling this way. I can't tell you what triggered me. I can't tell you why I'm disassociating. I can't tell you any of that. But give it an hour, a couple, or even the next morning, I will have had time to process those emotions a little bit better. And not even process them, because I'm processing them as I'm like coming down from them. It's the understanding of where they came from, how they developed, and what caused it that I can really start to like shine some light on when I'm no longer in the trench itself. So get yourself out of the trench and then try and figure it out. And really the only reason that you should try and figure it out is so that you can help yourself better next time. Because this goes back to like when you've talked about recovery. Recovery is trying to figure out what that issue is and solve it. We're recovering. We are healing. We are working on it, on ourselves, on the issues, on the trauma. And that would be why you're trying to figure out what upset you. If you don't give a care about why you got triggered, why you had a panic attack, why you're sad, that means you don't care about the healing piece, right? So I think that's another reason. Why did I sat like this? Why? I think that is another thing that I would like to just shine some light on that I'm really proud of you for, is being able to say, you know what? This is what you literally said what you wanted for dinner. You said what you wanted to do when you got home. You said what we were going to do with our evening. And you were like, these are the things that are going to help me feel a little bit better. And now here we are in the acts of helping you feel better. And you're starting to process like what made you feel that way. You know what I mean? Because as you come out of that darkness, you will see the light, aka coming out of the moods, the emotions is going to help you see the light, aka what made you feel that way.
Yeah, and piggybacking off of that, right, like coming out of that darkness, I also want to proclaim that hopelessness is a feeling and not a state of being. Okay? Feeling hopeless doesn't mean that you are hopeless. Because when I get in these freaking little moods, I am so black and white thinking. Yes. Okay? My freaking, the BPD side of me comes out, and everything sucks. Everyone sucks. Yeah. The world sucks. The sky is falling. Nothing. I've never experienced happiness a day in my life.
And quite literally, like, for example, she was like, I've just had a terrible last 3 days. Everything has sucked. Everything is awful. My life is horrible.
In reality, no, I didn't. I had a great couple days.
I grabbed her hands, and I was like, honey, 2 days ago, we were driving home from Colorado. We didn't have anything happen. We just drove home.
3 days prior to that, we climbed to the top of a fucking mountain and saw Colorado and the Rocky Mountains, and everything was beautiful.
We climbed a waterfall, and you literally were misty-eyed at the top of a mountain about how much life you have to live, and you are so happy that you didn't die because of drug addiction and da-da-da-da-da. And so for you to be like, the last 3 days have been terrible and everything sucks, my life isn't worth living, and I'm like, honey...
Yeah.
You are not in any danger. Nothing has happened. Quite literally, nothing has happened. It is just the emotions that are surfacing that have you so blinded by emotions. And unfortunately, I don't want to sound masochistic. Not masochistic. I don't want to sound misogynistic. But for us women, we are real fucking emotional when we're PMSing, baby.
And I have PCOS, and I miss my period, so I'm real fucking emotional.
You didn't miss it. It's just a little delayed because both of us are a little delayed, and we have synced up so much that now my uterus is like, do we have PCOS? Because my uterus is like, where's my period?
Yeah.
So that's another thing is there are so many emotions. And again, I don't want to sound misogynistic and be like, the women, they're so emotional when they're getting their period. But like, you know what makes us emotional and makes us crazy? Testosterone. So, keep that in fucking mind the next time you want to say that a woman is crazy. Because you know what's making her crazy? Fucking testosterone. Yeah. Anyways, the way that our emotions and our hormones fluctuate will really have us fucking blinded to different emotions and that the world is crumbling down and everything fucking sucks.
And mental illness. Mental illness, I feel like, as well. You know what I mean? If you're someone who suffers from mental illness and then you got hormones on top of it.
Yeah.
That's like a seasoned steak right there.
Yeah. And then, like, throw on top of that, like, a traumaversary. Or, like, a shit time of year. Like, my dad's fucking birthday is at the end of the month, and the day after the 4th of July, so today is the 3rd, tomorrow's the 4th, July 5th, I had to put down my soul dog. So I'm literally over here like, period's running late, my uterus thinks she's got PCOS because she's syncing up with my fucking wife, emotions, mental illness, trauma. I'm like, oh dear God, is somebody gonna like, is this train gonna crash? Like, what is happening? So I mean, and I know you were having a whole fucking moment about turning 28.
Yeah.
You were like, wow, I don't get to be part of the 27 club anymore. And I was like, honey, that's a good thing. Yeah. But all of your emotions and all of these feelings about that are blinding you from that. So I literally had to grab her hand and be like, honey, that's good. You're in a healthy relationship. You have a successful business. You are sober. Like, and then you can see like she slowly is like, it's almost like a different shade of brown is coming into your eyes, where you're literally just like realizing like it's sometimes we've talked about it before in previous podcast episodes too, where like humans are not supposed to be alone. So as much as it's like, oh, misery loves company,
misery loves isolation.
Yes. And I feel like misery, the emotion, that little, think of it as like the characters in like the Inside Out movie. Like misery is her own little character, right? She loves company and she wants you as her company. But she doesn't want anybody besides the two of you to be sitting in that room. She wants just her and one other person. She wants a partner in this. Whereas a human being, you need interaction, and those interactions with other people, like you said, phone a friend. That is going to be one of the key ways to help get you out of your slump.
Yeah, and if you don't have a friend, go to Chick-fil-A. They have to be nice to you. Because I've done that before, where I'm like, hi, and they're like, my pleasure. And you know what? Sometimes that's really great.
And you know what? You could even go to an animal shelter, get a little bit of fur therapy. Okay, if you need to phone a therapist, go to a meeting. Even if you're not an addict, you're not an alcoholic, you don't have a gambling issue, go to a meeting. Go to church. Dude, like, there are so many different ways that you can go be around other people to not feel so isolated, you know, and just get yourself up and moving and out of it. And I promise you, no matter how alone you feel, there is someone that views you as an important figure in their life.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, I have no one. I promise you there is at least one person out there that views you as their friend, their family member. They care about you. As much as you feel like nobody is caring about you, there is at least one person out there who gives so many shits about you that if you called, they would be there for you.
Absolutely.
Pinky promise.
Pinky promise. We don't lie on pinky promises.
We don't lie on pinky promises. We haven't for 20 years.
No, they're a very sacred thing. So, yeah.
Emotions suck.
Emotions suck. If you're in the middle of a storm, adjust your sails. You can't control your emotions, but you can control how you respond to them. So, phone a friend. Let yourself be fat and eat ice cream if you need to, but also work on getting out of it as well. Because sitting at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, it gets real cold and you get real soggy real quickly. So, nevertheless, you guys, I'm proud of where you're at. If you're someone who did click on this video because you're in the Mariana Trench right now, let's get out of it together, okay? You're doing great. I'm proud that you made it another day. I'm proud that you clicked on this video, because if you clicked on this video, you're trying.
If you clicked on this video, made it this far, and you were like, wow, I'm really proud of Frankie for speaking up about her emotions, put one of the little hearts that has like a bandage around it.
Yeah.
We're healing. We're fixing things.
And if you're someone who's sad, who is currently working on themselves, and you feel like you're at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, put an anchor emoji. You know? I got an anchor right on my freaking face, my dude.
You can blend them too. We're looking for the healed heart and some anchors.
Yeah, for sure, you guys. So heal your emotions, let yourself feel it, and squish that little leaf to death and throw it the fuck away. So I'm going to go eat ice cream and watch Desperate Housewives now. Appreciate you listening.
Okay.
Adios,
we'll call you guys later. Bye.